This is
The Handbag Husband.
the Handbag Husband. Yay! International.
Votre toast, je peux vous le rendre, Seigneur, Seigneur, car avec les soldats, il est toreros.
Today we are about to embark on our next Hermèscapade, this time through northern Italy, so mainly just Florence, Rome, and then half of our time in beautiful, amazing Paris, where our hopes are high, but our expectations are really low. But I think overall it's going to be a very interesting trip. And one thing is for sure, we are going to see some amazing, exotic, interesting, strange, and quirky bags, especially when we get to that FSH. Now, of course, if you like these videos, if you like the Hermes conversation, if you like the Hermes milieu, and if you like the bag candy, because there's one thing for sure, we're going to have a healthy amount of bag candy. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because it does really help the channel grow. And of course, we are so thankful for that.
Thank you.
Merci. But also because it means you'll get notified when our newest long videos come out, when all of our short videos come out, and all the stuff we have on the socials on YouTube, as well as Instagram at Handbag Husband. We have new Hermes content coming out every single week. All right, let's get down to our expectations for this trip.
Le cirque est plein ce jour de fête, le cirque est plein d'automate. Le spectateur est dans la tête, le spectateur c'est un bel
All right, so we are here waiting for our flight at the Air France lounge, which I must say is quite nice. It's new, it's got very Frenchy food, which is very different from the other lounge that we normally go to. So aside from being really far away, kind of impressed. But today I wanted to talk a little bit about what our expectations are for this trip, because we have been to both Paris as well as Florence and Rome many times, a multiple of times. But I think our expectations are kind of more tempered, where our hopes are very high because of just our previous experiences. But I don't know, overall, what are you looking for?
I don't know. Like, I think the pressure is kind of on because if you remember last year when we were asking you what I was hoping, right? And I said Kelly Croc. I didn't get that trip, but I got it the following.
Yes, when we picked up in Hong Kong.
And last
Check out
trip,
our Hong Kong videos, by the way.
And last trip, I said I want a Maximore.
Yes.
And I got the Maximore.
Yes. It looked good. It worked out great for the wedding. We'll put up some B-roll for that too.
So, and I'm like, okay. I'm like manifesting real hard, or
You're like,
I'm looking for Kelly, but I don't think I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
Throw in Hail Marys, bolide on wheel.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, bolide on wheel or bolide.
I want a bolide on wheel.
Because we saw it here at the LAX boutique.
Yes.
Right. So they're out there. They're floating around, and we actually saw one previously in Bangkok. I think it was Icon Siam. No, Siam Paragon. It's Siam Paragon. We saw one as well. That would look really cool. The orange with the brown wheels.
Yeah, I want, or some sort of like a weird bag, you know, like bolide on wheel.
So you think you're moving into your weird bag phase?
Not weird, but just like a little
Exotic
bit funky.
in structure, not in material.
Like a funky bag, you know.
Kelly doll. Would you do Kelly doll?
Oh, I don't know. If it's Kelly doll, I want the, what's it called? The pigtail. What's that thing called? Like, it's not the...
The ones with the eyes closed, not the eyes open?
The one that's like flipping you.
Ah, yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
The move back. I've actually been trying to find a move back.
That should be very achievable, though.
I don't know how it's gonna fit me. Like, is it like too hip and cool?
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Oh, you're very hip and cool.
I'm not hip and cool.
And beautiful.
No. So we'll see. Kind of hope for that. Move probably be the easiest one to be able to achieve. Yeah.
Of course, we still have CBK, right? If there would be a serious consideration for any Constance Birkin or Kelly's that get offered, for sure. I think on my side, obviously I'm looking for big bags. So Kelly Voyage, Kelly Maxi, the Hack, any of the Hacks, as long as it doesn't have the weird, like Tantu thing on it, like where it has like the image of the locks on it. I don't like that. I want more of a traditional type of Birkin or Kelly. When we were in Hong Kong at their airport boutique, they had a bag that I had never seen before, which was the drag bag. which I guess was a vintage bag. And back in the day, they made large drag bags. They made really big drag bags. So that would be something I would love to see. So they make really big drag bags, which I think that would fit me very perfectly. It'd be a very good replacement for the Sac de Pêche 40 that I've been looking for, and a little bit more interesting as well. And of course, the city is it City Hall Porta Dock, that one I've been looking for. We saw an exotic. That's very cool. And I mean, I think really the big bags. The big bags are the issue, and of course, I'm sort of dreading it either way. Like, getting the big bag would be cool, but moving it around in its big box and moving around the cities,
I mean, Samsonite is right across from the hotel.
that's a good point. But still, I think overall, more than likely, our options for getting any of these bags, it's going to be much stronger in Italy than it is going to be in Paris, though. No.
I think so.
So I think for us, really, Paris in general, and we'll get to this when we get to the Paris expectations, and I guess once we get into Paris, it'll feel different, but I think Paris is really going to be more of a spectator sport for us.
Sure. Bag
Sure,
candy.
we win a
Bag
lottery,
candy,
right? Bag candy, and we'll be praying to Our Lady of Perpetual Handbags get to win that Paris lottery. But the number of times you've tried versus the number of times you won is not good. It's not good at all. Italy, on the other side, obviously, we have a lot more experience. We have a lot more expend. We have a lot more relationship that's built there. So there is a good possibility for something there. But again, for us, our lottery ticket or our little bingo cards are getting kind of filled up, and the last ones are the hardest ones to get. Always works out that way, and that's kind of where we're at. So I don't know. As far as just overall trip expectation, what do you think?
I don't want to pressure myself because I think for most people when they put Paris into equation, it's like, I want to get a bag at FHS. Let's just don't pressure ourselves.
I mean, the tough thing about Paris is the bags are right there. They're just like right there. You're like, oh, hi.
Yeah.
Hi, bag that I've always dreamed about and always wanted. You're right there.
Yeah.
But you don't see the chasm that actually sits between you and actually that bag, just because it's so close. But
With the price.
I mean, there's the price. There's also
The price tag is right there.
it does list with the price. You're like, that is one of the interesting things about FSH, and we'll get to that when we start talking about some of the more expensive bags. But the thing that's heartbreaking about FSH is when you go, you see the bag, you're like, oh, this is the bag I've always dreamed about ever since I ever wanted, and then you see the price, you're like, that price doesn't look that crazy. Like, I can do that. I can do that. So all I gotta do is convince someone to let me buy the bag, and that's where the distance starts getting real far. So yeah, I think Paris. I mean, I love Paris. It's a beautiful city. One of my favorite cities on the planet. Food's gonna be good, and not a little bit of champagne, but I think the Paris side will be more spectator, whereas Italy is more our speed. I guess is at the level of Hermèscapades that we're at. So.
Non più tra I farfalloni amoroso, notte e giorno di torno girando, delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto a dolcino d'amor. Delle belle turbando al riposo, Narcisetto a dolcino d'amor.
All right, so today we are here getting a little bit of culture at the Uffizi Museum, which is pretty beautiful and one of our favorite things to do we're in Florence when we're not going to the Hermes boutiques. But I think what I want to do is talk a little bit about what is our trip expectations for our time here in Italy. Because this trip, we are kind of splitting it between Italy and Paris. And Italy is one that we love to go to because it's Italy, duh, right? But also because we have a pretty good relationship here, and I think that means that usually for us, it's kind of where we expect to get the most things, specifically here in Florence, because we have the most spend here, we have the most relationship here, and I don't know, I have to ask you, I guess, but I feel like we've kind of reached that pseudo local status here. What do you think?
I think so. I mean, the last part we were talking about before we was it at the lounge?
Yeah.
We were saying, okay, what do we want from this trip, right?
Yeah.
And I think that whatever I said I wanted, the most chance I'm gonna get is here.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think
here or Rome. Here or Rome. Yeah.
I mean, so Florence, again, is always the best for us specifically, mainly, and the reason why I think it is ideal for us, the reason why we have the most spend and the most relationship is because it fits in with our kind of travel style in general,
The
right?
Rome, yeah.
It seems to always be in a place where we want to be and where we need to be, and it makes sense in the progress we're in, but also the store fits us very, very well. And I think our SA fits us really, really well as well. So,
I
it's,
guess my complaint of Rome is just so far.
because usually we don't stay
We
over
don't
by the
stay,
Spanish Steps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, it's like 30 minutes walk. Oh.
Also, Rome, since we've been coming here, has always been well established as a boutique, right? Because it's the capital city. Florence,
Sure.
I feel like when we came, was still kind of like in the podunk era. It still didn't seem like a big, like, influential boutique where it is now.
I don't know. I think it's still a niche.
Yeah, I think so too. But it's definitely gotten more like powerful. That's how we would say in the
Hopefully,
thing, and we just happen to be carried along with it because we have a relationship and established. And maybe that's just our feeling. But yeah, I think for me as well.
We'll see this trip.
That's right.
We haven't visited yet, so we'll see. We'll see how
That's
it
true.
goes.
Yeah, we haven't been there yet, but I think for me, my expectation for a voyage or for Kelly Maxi or a hack, I think the highest possibility of getting one is definitely going to be in Florence. Rome, I think there's definitely a possibility.
For sure.
And we've gotten lucky in Rome multiple times with some of the non-quota bags. And again, hacks are not considered quota bags here. But whenever they offer us non-quota bags, they're usually not bags that we ever really want to pick up, with the exception of the Ruli and the Ostrich, which was very nice.
Which is odd. Both times the bag that I got offered, they bought white. I
guess I never thought about that. Even this last time, it was a wall of green, and
we
this time they got offered the not the Maximor.
Yeah. And the ostrich really also white, which is I don't know.
So I think expectations are good for Florence. I think that again we've also gotten way more picky as well. So the relationship has developed so we can kind of ask for more specific things, which is good.
Sure.
But it also means that it gets a little hit or miss sometimes when we show up because we're like, well, we already have this and this and this.
Yeah.
I mean, are we going to get offered another Kelly Messenger? Probably. Are we going to get offered another Kelly Sac de Pêche? Probably, right?
Yeah.
But if it's not in the right size or if it's a duplicate, then, I don't know. I think that's one of the issues, is that we get some of those things offered multiple times, but those specific ones we're looking for seem to be harder and harder. And again, that might just be our finickiness with bags as our collection grows.
Which is fine. I don't mind that. I don't mind saying no to bags. I think it's almost, I guess it's almost give the essay like, oh, this guy just not like buy everything and everywhere all the time,
I think on the Rome side, the interesting
And we don't have enough space. Like it's winter time. I think there's lots of thick clothes.
I think on the Rome side, the interesting thing is that we don't have an essay that we have a relationship with, right? So we're always kind of starting relationship-wise new every time we show up, but they can see all of our spends and all the things we bought in Italy. So they know kind of whatever tier consumer of Hermes we are. So I think that sometimes we get some credibility for that when they see it. I mean, it's probably not that competitive, especially in Rome, where there's lots of, it's not Milan, but it's still quite competitive. But I think that's why we get a little bit of, I think that's why we end up getting offered, like,
third tier.
Yeah, you can say
Third.
Yeah. Okay, we call it that.
Third.
Yeah, that's why we get offered those bags. So that's why we get the offers, but we don't have the relationship enough there and the spend there and the time there to really put much pressure and ask for something bigger.
Sure.
Yeah. So
which is fine.
Which is fine too. Yeah. So I think right now we're in a very happy medium for Italy, because yes, we get to go to Italy, we get to eat great food, and we sometimes get offered the bags we want. Right?
We'll see.
And so far, but we
fingers
haven't gone.
crossed.
Yeah, we haven't gone to the boutique yet, so we'll have to see how it turns out. And of course, we're going to share that with all of you as we get through that. So next up is going to be expectations for Paris when we get to Paris.
-5.
The expectation, not good. No. But I'm hopeful. So hopeful. So much hopeful. All right, so bonjour. We have finally made it to Paris, the end goal of this Hermèscapade, and we are currently now in the splash zone of FSH on Rue Royale, where we've already seen a number of non-quota bags and quota bags, children with quota bags, just a whole...
The white shopping bag.
Yes.
The white shopping bag.
Yes,
Like, so
people
probably
getting
something
things.
in there,
Yes,
or
yes.
might be something in
People
there.
parading around with their Hermes bags. I mean, there's just a whole blast zone, a splash zone around FSH where just Hermes just like lays out over everything, and that's real exciting. So let's talk a little bit about what our expectations are for our Paris Hermèscapades, because we are going to be visiting a couple stores here. Definitely FSH and definitely Sevres, my personal favorite one. And I don't know if we're ambitious, maybe one of the other ones, but that's not for sure. Where we sit here as far as Paris goes is previously we actually had a good opportunity to create a relationship, but I don't think we were ready. I don't think they were ready. It wasn't them, it was us. We didn't have it. So we're kind of starting back over from start over if we want to. I think for me, in general, I would like to maybe possibly consider having like my line here in Paris and yours in Italy. But we'll have to see. I think that really getting a foothold here is now more difficult than it has ever been. And my hopes are very high. My expectations are very high. But I think my realistic understanding of how things work is quite low, considering we've already put in the lottery a couple times. So first up, we're going to be visiting FSH for sure. And that one is the one that has the highest expectations of seeing really cool bags, because, I mean, they always
It's
have...
the mothership.
Yeah, it is the mothership, right? That is the mecca of handbags. And if you are an Hermèscapader, this is the place you want to go. And this is the place where all the Hermèscapaders do go, right? So the benefit is
That's why it's the most competitive.
100%. That's exactly it. So you're going to see, and we always see, the best and
Really
amazing
and
most
dearly.
bags. Yeah, just the most like mind-blowing, interesting, avant-garde, kind of just obscure, esoteric bags that you're going to see anywhere really in the world. But it's a very much look, don't touch kind of situation because
You're peasant.
Yeah, because we are so far down the tier level, below peasants, that the likelihood of us getting an opportunity to even touch any of these bags is literally a lottery. It's literally a crapshoot, and even trying to get in the lottery is quite difficult, as we had found. So I think I'm excited to see what we have in FSH. I think that if the Our Lady of Perpetual Handbag does decide to shine down her handbag glory on us, maybe, just maybe, we'll get lucky. But I'm here really for the bag candy and and for ooh and on. I don't know. What do you think?
Probably about 24 hours ago.
Yeah.
I was so stressful.
Well, some of the expectations have changed,
Yes,
right? Yeah,
yes,
for you on
yes.
your side.
Yes, on my side. Because I know like you could win the lottery and then get it back.
I married you, baby boo. I won the lottery.
No, my point is like, but then you also know that you're not gonna get the appointment. Like obviously we're gonna keep putting in like, it's just so stressful.
But you see it on the socials too. People are like, "Oh, I won the lottery. I got in." And you're like,
sometimes walk
yeah,
in,
right,
like asking for
It was-
appointment.
yeah, no.
Yada, yada.
They jumped outside and begged me to come inside with the lottery. You're like, no, that's not how this works.
Maybe they have
Yeah.
a better the Handbag Husband escort.com.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
And I'm happy for them. Honestly, I'm happy for them because good for them. But
Sure. But
it's
my
a
point is
special
like it now half trip in.
Yeah.
I'm still referring to 24 hours
Yeah.
ago. Our bag, it's 0.
yeah,
Or was at 0. And then we got a text from Topanga.
from back home. Yeah.
Okay, and then got touching one.
Yeah, so that's good news. One.
And then
yeah.
6 hours after we got the text from Topanga, there was a bag waiting for me.
Yes.
Touching number 2.
Yes.
So now
So now you're flush with bags.
So now Paris kind of like, all right.
Yeah.
It feels way better. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Like
you have some post-bag clarity at this point.
Yeah, there's
you're like, I don't know.
There's no more pressure. Obviously, I'm like, okay, yes, if we get something,
Yes,
great.
yes.
Really great.
Of course.
But if we don't get anything, then I know like I'm 2 bags in,
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking to details about like what those are
Yeah.
and like, but expectation now, which is crazy. 24 hours ago, I was so stressed. You were seeing me like, okay,
Yeah.
am I gonna get the bag? Like this is like, why am I putting pressure on?
Yeah.
Like this is supposed to be like a
100%.
vacation. But now I'm like, okay, whatever. Do we even have to go? Like this morning, I'm like, do we even have to go?
I was just sleeping.
No, because we just landed last night. We arrived at the hotel at midnight.
Yeah, that was rough.
I was a little. I'm still a little bit tired.
Yeah.
So yeah, but all right. So my goal today, expectation is I want to see very interesting bags. I feel a little bit that Italy, the bags that they have on display, Rome and Florence this time, it's kind of ho-hum.
Yes.
So I want to see what Paris has to offer.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to Sevres. Sevres is where always like have a nicer feel to it compared to FSS. Yeah.
Well, I think for both.
Oh, you know what? And the Christmas display.
Oh yes, Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
I think for both boutiques, really my little Weasley point here, and my happy point in you getting those other kind of bag ticked off out of the way is now we can focus on the handbag husband.
Sure.
And that means we can put a little more emphasis, a little more push, a little oomph into the bags that maybe one handsome, intelligent, loving handbag husband is acquiring.
What did that person get? It's an Hermes shopping bag.
And so I think that we're going to see if we can put a big push for it. I think when we look at Sevres as the opportunity, Sevres is a much bigger opportunity, much more accessible.
We'll see this time.
Previously, Sevres was a much more accessible boutique for one handbag husband because the fact that although they do still require, if you ask for a women's leather appointment previously, they said, oh, you have to go back to the lottery. You got to go back to the lottery. Go back to the lottery.
Yeah.
So basically, get out of here, right? But they're like, oh, but if you're looking for men's leather goods, then right this way, sir. And we got offered a pretty interesting Kelly Sac-à-Pêche, I think 36 in box, but with the black PVC leather or whatever, or the black PVC metal.
Black edition, yeah.
Yeah, which looked cool. I mean, for the obvious reason we had to turn it down, that we turned down all the times.
Yes.
But they also had a lot of bigger bags. Even had some of the most expensive bags we ever saw. The purple Kelly ostrich bag with the diamonds on the rhinestone, or diamond on the straps, the sangles. So I'm excited to see that. And again, I think for me, Sevres is my more favorite boutique. If I was to establish a spend-in relationship here,
you've never been to the Josang yet.
I don't think I don't think we're ever going to get to Josang. I don't think we're ever going to get there.
Maybe next time. Maybe.
Yeah, okay, maybe. Maybe even this time. Maybe.
You can go.
It's possible. I'm not going to go without you. That's crazy talk. But yeah, so Sevres would be the one that I really like. I like the feel to it. I like the less chaoticness of it. You may not get the same level of bags, but you don't have the same level of competition. They're more friendly. They're more open. And frankly, they seem more open to doing relationships. At least previously.
Sure.
So those are the expectations. And I think that if I am to get a bag here without some sort of Christmas miracle, Mariah Carey miracle happening, it'll be at Sevres. So.
Okay.
All right, so those are our trip expectations. And at this point, we are here in a chilly day at the Musée d'Orsay, here in Paris. D'Orsay?
Google Translate. Yes, that's how you say it.
Here at the end of our trip, and I will tell you that if you made it this far, and if we made it this far, because we have made it this far, I think our expectations were met in some ways, and in some ways we were really, really surprised by how things went. Specifically, while we got here to Paris, it was surprising and also ultimately sort of not surprising. I don't know how vague I agree with it. When I look at the trips overall, though, I think about Italy. Italy was actually pretty good.
I think it's just par with our expectation. I think.
Yeah. I think that the number of
and
bags...
if you remember,
Yeah.
when I say, what do I want, what I'm looking for, what did I say?
Oh, what did you say? I don't remember.
Obviously, I didn't get the move.
Yes.
But I say, obviously, I want a Kelly.
Do
you remember?
Yeah. No, I don't remember, but...
What?
That
was
I'm sure we'll see it in the videos.
3 weeks ago.
Years ago.
It was 10 minutes ago in this video.
Yeah, that's right. It was 10
If you
minutes
guys
ago.
watch the beginning, yes.
So that was a very big surprise. And again, check out our other videos throughout the Hermèscapades because we're going to go into more detail about what we ended up getting, what we turned down, what we wanted, all that kind of stuff. But I think overall, our trip expectations have been met. And the surprising part was some of the timelines that we had initially thought on some of the bags that we were waiting for have been accelerated pretty dramatically, maybe to our best of luck. Some of the changes in the boutique, specifically in Paris, as far as getting an appointment, because I actually did end up getting an appointment, a walk-in appointment for men's here at FSH, which which just like blew my mind. But we also learned some really valuable lessons about what does getting an appointment actually mean, right? Getting an appointment is the beginning, it's not the end of the Hermèscapade. But
Correct.
again, we'll get more into all of that. I think that, the wintertime has its own advantages and disadvantages, and I think that in general, I think the wintertime might be a better prospect, though. No?
I think so. It's a little bit like less people here.
Yeah. At least until you hit the holiday seasons, and then all bets are off. So
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think as far as the trip expectations?
I think Italy par with what it's pretty consistent. I guess let's start from the airport. Airport are like consistent. Like I'm surprised. Like like almost every trip will get offered at least some bags.
And the mini CDGs were cool too.
Yeah. Italy, about the same expectation. Paris seems a little bit warmer.
Yes.
Not in the weather. Why was like
the weather is colder.
Yes,
but the Hermes is
but
warmer.
the MS seems a little bit warmer to peasant like us.
Yes. I feel like Fortress Hermes has softened up a little bit.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
I think that there are loopholes and little kind of cracks in the wall that allow for some folks like us to even have an opportunity at a leather appointment.
Sure.
Because I had one in FSH and in Sevres.
Yeah.
Right. But again, those are available for specific reasons, and again, we'll get into that later on. But overall, I think my expectations were met for sure, and even exceeded in some ways, but also a little underwhelming. What kind of expectations do you think were underwhelming for you?
Underwhelming? The bag candies.
Yes. But I think that's a good sign, right?
Yes and no. I mean, meaning I didn't get to see any good bags.
Yes, that's a
good
bad
in
sign.
the sense of like interesting, super avant-garde. Like I come to Paris, want to see something that I could not.
We saw some pretty avant-garde
possibly
bags,
like find in like Topanga's or like
Las Vegas or somewhere.
I want to see.
I mean, when we get to the bag candies, you will see some pretty amazing bags.
Yes, they're
some
amazing,
very, very
but it's
interesting
not
bags.
like I feel like last time there were so many exotic. There's some like weird ones. This time it's kind of very vanilla, a little bit too vanilla for my liking. Yeah. So that was a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah, for me, I think the underwhelming side is I have this sinking suspicion we might have missed the big bag waves. We might have missed the big production of the big bags, and it's tapering off now. Because Hermes does that. They're like spike production and
Sure.
I feel like we might have missed it.
I mean, there is one big bag.
Yes. There are many big bags, but the big bags
No,
we want.
the cow side bag.
Oh,
The cow.
like a Kelly 1000?
No, it's Birkin.
Oh, was it Birkin? Hey, Birkin 1000.
Insert the
it
B-roll
was
here.
so big.
It's a cow size.
It was like garden shed size. You put it was definitely a doghouse, like a big dog, like a Burmese, whatever. Or no, what is it? Bernese? The one with the barrel.
Oh, yeah.
You could definitely
Saint
have.
Bernard?
Yeah, Saint Bernard that lived inside that Birkin. So, I mean, would I get it? I don't know. We don't have space for it. But yeah, so they did have one very, very big bag.
No, I'm not specifically saying that I want to see a big bag. I'm just saying like interesting, avant-garde, like over the top, like bust down, like bling, feathers, like
feathers.
like exotic, like reptiles mixed with like croc.
It definitely did seem like that. It seemed like a lot of the bags that were available on display this time around were very nice,
vanilla,
like real bags,
it's
right?
Too
like
vanilla
realistic
for
bags.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they didn't have all the flair to them, but they were also bags that we would probably actually want to take. So again, it wasn't as much of a circus as it was kind of just a display of beautiful bags. So.
And I guess this apply all across the board, like Rome, not that many, like Florence, not that many.
At least it wasn't as much green as before.
Sure, but I'm just saying, like it's not. Seems like the whole trip this time, the bag candy has been really sparse. Like it's a little bit. It's okay.
It just wasn't as wild and crazy as it was
compared
before.
to last trip. Yeah.
And maybe it's just the winteriness too,
Sure.
right? Maybe just the colors, the wintry time doesn't allow for crazy colors and crazy design, and it's just not how they roll.
Yeah.
Although the display at FSH, like their whatever memories of Christmas, nightmares of Christmas,
No, it's called like Christmas hallucination. I think that's what it's
Yeah,
called.
yeah, it was very like
odd.
David Bowie's
And it
Labyrinth
has
movie.
like the weird music. Kind of
Yeah, they're like
Tim Burton.
Yes,
Very Tim Burton
yes.
style.
So I get it. I don't like it, but I understand it. And they had one of our favorite bags. I guess when we get to the bag candy, we'll do it. But one of our favorite bags was a very normal bag, but super super fuzzy. So I want to share that one too. We'll get to it. All right, so that was our trip expectations, and I'd really would love to hear what you think. Does it meet like your expectations? Have you been, in the future when going through these videos, have you been to these boutiques, and what were your impressions of them? What did you expect, and did it meet those expectations? I'd love to hear your perspective because, especially at FSH, when you're standing just kind of loitering around waiting to see if an appointment got missed, you hear lots of these stories, and I know they're out there. So put them down in the comments. We'd love to hear those, and we can compare them with ours, compare notes. But if you like these videos, if you like the Hermes conversation, if you like the Hermes milieu, and if you like the bag candy and this whole series, I think we're gonna have some great bag, some very desirable bag candy for you. Don't forget to like and subscribe because it does really help the channel grow, and of course we are so thankful for that.
Thank you.
Merci beaucoup. But also because it means you get notified when our newest long videos come out, our newest short videos come out, and everything we have on the socials, on Instagram and on YouTube, because we have new Hermes content coming out every single week. So, from a very cold winter day here in Paris, in the Musée, it was nice and warm here. It's toasty in here. For the Musée d'Orsay, au revoir.